Welcome to tonight's episode of Onwards and Upwards. Last week, we paid a visit to the court jesters. This week, we turn our attention to the court theatre itself. Unable to perform at the Arts Centre, the group recently announced they had at last found a new venue. We joined them for a tour of the new facilities and to find out all about their plans for the future.
The theatre was completely decimated by the quake, in that the Arts Centre is now offline for maybe years. And so it was important for us to come up with some sort of solution because, you know, we've got a lot of feedback that the people want the court theatre back.
I think just finding the venue was the biggest challenge. I mean, as soon as the CBD was closed and it became clear that it wasn't going to be open for some time, there was a feeding frenzy for just any available space.
We're here in Addington and we've taken a lease and we have resource consent to turn this 18 metre by 24 metre shed into a theatre space. We're going to build a theatre in the middle of this. So this is the shed. Across here, right where we are, is going to be the rehearsal room, which comes along a line right by this door. We're going to have a porticom city, a little porticom village for all the administration, for our marketing, for our production offices. There'll be costume storage through here and the wardrobe along here and a green room so you can make cups of tea and coffee. This wall here will be completely put back in right through to the roof, probably with corrugated iron. This building is strong as an ox. It's got very strong steel girders. It came through both quakes without a scratch. We also, because we've changed its use, this used to be an old granary, an old grain store. Because we've changed its use, we had to bring it up to 100% of code. And in fact, by building the theatre completely freestanding within it, we're actually strengthening the building, taking beyond 100% of code, which is great. Public will come in here. This will be the auditorium with a bar and ticket office, which are in converted containers. You know, this will all be cleaned up, and then standing right in the middle of the space, going right to the roof, will be a big box, which will be the auditorium, which will seat 300 people. And then beyond that, right down the end of the shed, will be the workshop. Yeah. We're going to have walls which go right up to the roof. So there'll be a line about here. And also, we want to sound insulate the auditorium as well. We're right next to the sort of the railway lines, although there's very little, they're only shunting yards across here. So going right to the roof will be a wall, and then we're going to insulate inside the actual shell of the theatre, and then we'll be able to control the climate with air conditioning. You know, right from now, we're pulling the trigger, and this build starts now, and we'll be building right up. We'll still be, I'm sure, the paint will be drying on the day we open. We've gone to school on the logistics. The sight line isn't quite as wide. That big CinemaScope stage we had isn't quite as wide. And the audience is slightly steeper so that the person's head in front of you won't obscure the stage as much.
It's going to be a very exciting time for the company, I think. I mean, some of the great art is produced in adversity, and I mean, just the new space that we're going to have to work with, the new dynamic, having the entire company unified in one space, I think is going to be really, really good for the people who work here.
The great challenge is one, the uncertainty of knowing if this was going to work or not. Also, the uncertainty of knowing what the future of Christchurch is going to be. This is a temporary solution for the court theatre, but it's a temporary solution which may be 6 years, maybe 3 years. We have a 15-year lease on this building with a right of renewal every 3 years. The other thing, of course, which is a great challenge for us, is theatres don't come cheap, and we're going to have to raise millions of dollars to convert this space into an auditorium. And so we're launching a fundraising appeal.
We've got a big concert that we're going to be doing in the Aurora Centre called Carry On Court, which is bringing back some of the icons of the court theatre. We're looking at things like quiz nights, just special one-off performances by the court jesters around the South Island, if not the country, just doing fundraiser performances, things like that. It's a really exciting time to just sort of, every idea has got legs, because if it is something that's going to help the court theatre move forward, then it's something we want to do.
The best way for people to keep up on the fundraising would be to visit our website on www.courttheatre.org, and if they can help us in any way, they may be able to offer us material that we can use within this temporary theatre that we're building. Of course, money is a huge thing for us, and if they can help with that, that'd be wonderful. But if they go to our website, they'll be able to follow all the details of the fundraising campaign.
We are here this evening to launch the fundraising campaign. You're not laughing now, are you? For the rebuild of the Court Theatre.
It was looking very bleak there for a while, but this is the 40th birthday year of the Court. And it's absolutely thrilling that we find ourselves now heading into winter, but with the prospect of live theatre once again before the end of the year.
This is really exciting. Culture, arts are the centre of our society. That's what makes things work here.
We really firmly hope and believe and will work towards some November opening of this year. So we think, come the spring, everybody's going to be wanting to get on with their lives, and it's a great time for rebirth, and we're going to hopefully open then with Roger Hall's brand new play. We're premiering the new play by Roger Hall, A Shortcut to Happiness.